Namaste. On behalf of Vicky Ladies Organization, Hyderabad, I, Honorary Secretary Gunjan Sindhi, extend a warm welcome to you all and a multifaceted and exuberant guest, Ms. Farah Khan, eminent past chairs and esteemed members. We would now, can I request everybody to please calm down, silent, because we are wasting time. We need to enjoy with Ms. Farah. You want every bit of that. Thank you. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. I would now request everybody to please rise for the national anthem. We would request photographers to refrain from clicking pictures during national anthem. National anthem, please.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय ही भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय
I'd like to call upon Chairperson Ms. SHUBHRAA MAHESHWARI, National Past President Ms. Pinky Reddy, Ms. Farah Khan, Ms. Usha Rani Mane, Ms. Monica Agarwal, Ms. Rekha Reddy to step forward for lighting of the lamp. Dear members, I'm sure you would enjoy this afternoon, so please maintain silence. I now request all past chairs of Flow and By Flow to join us for a picture with our esteemed guests, followed by Core Committee, Executive Committee, Flow and By Flow. Pinky Reddy is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, the former national president of Vicky Ladies Organization, and has played a big role in promoting Indian art and heritage. She helped in setting up the Jai Museum inside the swanky new Terminal 2 of Mumbai Airport by using her skills and knowledge. While working with the creative team, she realized the need for financial assistance required for the financially disadvantaged artisans. She then founded a retail company, Ada. I would now request Gunjan to take the evening forward. Thank you, Sujata. A heart welcome to one and only Farah Khan at Flow, Hyderabad. Farah is a versatile film director, choreographer. She has earned her special place in the hearts of film lovers across the world. With a third decade-long journey, In Bollywood, Farah has broken many glass ceilings and established herself as one of the finest choreographers and film directors of her time, from blockbuster films to award-winning choreography. Farah's work has always been a testament to an exceptional talent and creativity as the only choreographer who makes the script of a song, something she learned from her good friend Kundan Shah. Farah takes a unique approach to filmmaking that sets her apart. It is an absolute pleasure to have Farah with us today, and I am sure her insights and expectations will be an inspiration to all of us. Let's give her a warm welcome and a round of applause. I am pleased to welcome our guest, Ms. Farah Khan, Chairperson SHUBHRAA Maheshwari, and Ms. Pinky Reddy to grace the dais. I now request Chairperson to felicitate our illustrious speaker with a flow memento. Before I start, I have to tell you one thing. I have so many friends in Bollywood, but nobody like Farah. And I mean it, all you girls should actually learn from her. She's on time, she has no drama, she doesn't do any... You have to learn to be a celebrity. You lost it. It's never too late. They're all idiots. Chairperson to felicitate our National Past President, Pinky Reddy. Requesting Chairperson to address this august gathering.
How are all of y'all? Are we going to have fun today? Yes! Anything gets boring, I'm just going to do this.
Lights, camera, action, huh? Good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone. Welcome Farah, welcome Pinky Akka. At the onset, I would like to thank the World Project, Hyderabad's most premium luxury residential project coming up at Jubilee Hills. The World at Jubilee Hills, spread over 14.45 acres, 468 apartments, the most luxurious apartment in the city. Thank you for hosting us today. I would like to thank Flow Hyderabad members for the overwhelming response to Flow Hyderabad Business Awards that created a platform for recognizing excellence. It was an initiative to celebrate a constellation of women entrepreneurs from various sectors across Telangana. My courage always rises at every attempt to intimidate me, says Jane Austen. There have been countless stories through the ages concerning courage and courageous acts. There are times when women are faced with dire circumstances that are beyond their control and life becomes very difficult. These are the times when we have to make tough but necessary decisions that require courage and fortitude. In such situations, I'm reminded that the very qualities women leaders are made of, empathy, openness, and positivity. And these are the qualities that make our guest speaker today, Farah Khan. You all must have heard. Oh no, this is my time. Thank you. So you all must have heard, come on, be a man. Somebody telling that little boy somewhere, come on, be a man. Has anybody ever heard somebody saying a girl, be a woman? No, that is where the perceptions have to change. That is the challenge, and that is where the female fortitude comes into play. We are honored to have you here, Farah, to share your journey with us. And when we talk of fortitude, we think of you. Thank you so much. I have a lot here. I have cut it. Very scared of you, but as we are coming,
the Q&A instead of the speech.
I
So
have
that more people can ask me questions.
I have cut 2 pages here. But ladies, as we are coming to the end of this term, this financial year, the next 6 weeks are very action-packed. Don't miss the notifications that come to you from the Flow official number. Thank you.
Will request Chairperson SHUBHRAA Maheshwari and National Past President Pinky Reddy to take the session forward.
Ladies, are we audible to all of you?
Can you all hear us properly? Because we can't hear. I think there's no speaker.
Yeah. Direction for the longest time has been considered a man's job, but there are women who are changing this narrative. And how? Today we are with somebody who's possibly the most successful female director that Bollywood has ever seen, and one of the very few to touch the 200 crore film mark to her credit. Welcome, Farah. Farah, without more for you, throw me out the stage. Everybody knows you, and everybody knows that you are a very, very successful filmmaker, but nobody knows the story that went behind the making of Farah Khan. Your father was a very good filmmaker, but it was a story which was riches to rags and rags to riches again, and is an inspirational story. Can we start here? How was your childhood?
Oh my God, this is a very long session this is going to be. First of all, thank you, SHUBHRAA, and thank you. I've been to many FICCI chapters, but I must say Hyderabad is always special. I keep coming back here. I think this may be my 3rd time in Hyderabad. So I've gone to Amritsar and Lucknow and a couple of other places, but Hyderabad is Hyderabad. So, and all the ladies are most beautiful over here.
Hyderabad is one of the largest chapter. They have 1,000 members now.
Yeah. And why only 200 have come then?
No, there are 300 here, and we close the registrations at 300.
Okay, because you know, like my movies, I like houseful everywhere. So coming to SHUBHRAA, thank you for saying I'm the most dubiously successful female director, but I want to say there is no such thing. I don't believe there's anything as a male director and a female director. A director is a director, and people go to see my movies regardless of what my gender is. So I want to be the most successful director in Bollywood, not just the most successful female director. So we shall work towards that, I think. I mean, there are some places where gender should not come in. Of course, it's tougher for women to break into, but like, you know, I'm a tough girl. She said my dad was a producer and a director in the late 50s, early 60s, and he used to make what we call B-grade action movies. A lot of those are made nowadays and they are doing very well. But his used to be, you know, with Dara Singh and those Tarzan in Bombay and Robin Hood in the jungle, like those kind of movies, fun movies. And we had a pretty good childhood till one day he made his first color film and he invested all his money in that movie. And the movie released on Friday, and literally on Sunday we became poor. So yeah, I know it sounds funny, but Friday, like, everything was hunky-dory, and Sunday, by Monday people had stopped coming to our house. Yeah, unless they were coming to take back the money that my dad owed them. So I've seen Bollywood from the really hard side of it, which is when you're down and out, it can be the worst place to be in. And when you're doing well, there's nothing like it. As in all walks of life, I think. When you're doing well, everything is hunky-dory. But it's the times when you're not doing well, is the time, how you behave at that time is what speaks about you. So I mean, I don't want to get very sentimental and tragic right now.
Okay, let's get to a better positive note. So you have been in Bollywood for 3 decades now?
Yeah.
How old were you when you started?
I was pretty old. I'm not going to reveal, then they'll know my age.
But you're looking very young.
I was only 18 when I started.
But I think you're looking very young.
Yes, we all look young because we
Feel young.
We feel young. I feel that I'm still in my 20s and I'm a very old mother. I mean,
No, it's not called an old mother. It's people who have had babies late and
Later.
younger children.
Yeah.
They're much more younger than us. I'm a grandmother of 3.
I'm not sitting next to you.
You don't want to hang out with grannies, okay?
You look like this after being a granny. So,
I
But
can
then
produce a child.
You had a child marriage.
That's what I'm saying. So I always hung out with older people. So now you will be hanging out with younger people.
I am, because my children will turn 15
Your
now,
kids'
day
friends
after.
will be younger people.
Yes.
But I must tell you, as I was just telling, that she's an most incredible person. And in Bollywood, she's the most liked person too, which is very
On my
rare.
face. So I don't know behind my back what happens.
I think
I will
my
agree to what Pinky Akka says, because this entire year I've been talking to so many Bollywood people for events and all. I've called few of them, and Farah is the only person who generally she chats with me one-on-one. There is no PR, there is no manager.
That's
she
what I'm
has.
saying. So
I can't afford to keep
So I said all my flow girls in Hyderabad, they know me very well. They know that I am what I am. I'm not behind. I don't say one thing, in front I don't say anything. So that's why I'm saying you're amazing.
Thank you.
And so I want to know, what was your first pay? What did your first project? What did you do first?
So I've been working since I was 14 years old.
How much did you make your first paycheck?
80 rupees. There was no check. It was 80 rupees a month. I had to give tuitions to my cousin sister, who was younger. But then when I joined college, it was 300 rupees a month. We used to do these surveys. You know these, I don't know how many of you all have done. We used to go office to office and do surveys.
Yeah.
Don't even ask what. It was for Chesterfield cigarettes. Yeah, they had just come.
And what about who gave you which choreographing, who gave you the first break?
So my first break came on, I don't know how many of you all have seen Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar. Yeah. So I was the 4th assistant to the director in that movie. I was not a choreographer. I used to be a choreographer, but not in films. I used to do ad films and shows and dance shows and all. So that was my first break, because the choreographer who was Sarojji, she was the number 1 Saroj Khan, she was the number 1 choreographer then. But she couldn't make it to the outdoor shoot. There was some emergency and she went back. And then the whole unit was just sitting there in Ooty, and you know, money mounts every hour. So because I was the only one who had some background in dance, I was called by the director and told that, okay, now from tomorrow you're going to choreograph the song, we can't wait anymore. And that song was Pehla Nasha. And so
that's an amazing song.
We later came to know it'll become amazing when you're. So I mean, you know, when the opportunity is given to you, you have to be ready to take it. So I was not nervous at all. I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to do it better than Sarojji. And so I sat and I completely changed the whole filminess of that song. Was being done in a very Bollywood filmy style. And I think what I brought to it was a freshness and a youth, because I was also very young.
It was a very young, fresh and new.
So it was a new kind of ideas. And the movie did okay. It wasn't a big hit. The song did all right. But as the years went, it's really become like a iconic cult a song, because it was ahead of its time. And even today when you see it, it looks like it was shot like last year or 2 months ago. So that was my first break. I got paid 0 for that song. And because I was an assistant director, I was also sent back in the train back home. I said, "Abhi to flight ka ticket de do mere ko." I become conscious to go back in the train.
And I have a very interesting incident to tell with this. I didn't know till now that was your first song. But as a child, I was 13-year-old.
Don't show off now.
Oh, yeah. So I was 13-year-old and I was there to see the shooting of the song Pehla Nasha.
Where? In Ooty?
No, a part of it was shot in Bombay also.
Film City,
Yes,
yeah.
I was there. Amir Khan in one room in the actress.
yes.
Yeah, and now I can think. Okay, that was the choreographer who was shouting. But honestly, Farah, from choreography to acting to direction to a mother of three kids, life has been very, very fulfilling. Which part of it was most fulfilling to you?
Yeah, see, we are forced to say that being a mother is the most fulfilling. We have to say that. But now that my kids are 15, sometimes I wonder what made me have children. Because I have 3 teenagers in the house now with raging hormones, all fighting with each other. But I think for me, besides, of course, like I said, we have to say having kids was most fulfilling. Doesn't feel like it sometimes, does it? But I think for me, direction, like when I made Mehuna, for me, I had come home. Like that was the happiest time of my life. For me, that was like, okay, now this is the most happy I've ever been. That whole year when we were making it, we were just, that was my happy zone. So I think directing movies, for me, is that part of directing the movie, the creating that movie, and directing, of course, now when the movie releases, that is the worst part of making a movie. Because every idiot with a phone has a review to give. Yeah.
It's very unfair with all these critics and
They're sitting
social
blow by
media.
blow. They're sitting in the theater and writing review. Now this happened. Oh, this is so idiotic.
And there is a lot of effect on the audience. Suppose somebody comes, this movie is really bad, mixed review. People really don't watch it actually. And if you don't advertise or even do too much of promotion, but if somebody comes out of a theatre and on social media somebody says it's an amazing movie, people do watch. So really the power of social media is crazy nowadays.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, just 2 days or 1 day back, I was seeing even in Parliament, there was an MP who was talking about Pathan, giving examples. So that's the power of social media.
About a movie.
No, he was praising it in all the right senses. So yeah, critics in positive and negative sense do from the movie's fate. But Farah, how do you balance the challenges of being a mother and like just afternoon you were telling my son that, you know, your son's also writing his finals. And it's very challenging meeting these commitments to your films.
What I do is of course we know that women can multitask and men can't. So
100%.
So we can do many things at one time. However, what I do is at one time I do one thing. So now I just spoke to my kids and figured out what they're going to wear to school tomorrow because day after is their birthday, and I said send me pictures because I won't be there today. But like now my phone is off, now I'm at the event. And of course as soon as the kids were born, there's one thing I stopped doing, I stopped socializing. Because there's absolutely no time to do that. So you have to choose one thing, you either work, have kids, socialize, you can't do so. I cut out the socializing part. I'm most of the time at home. Yeah.
Actually, you have to compartmentalize and you have to
Yes.
let go of things. So, what are some of the challenges you faced in transitioning from choreographer to film? The first is always special in any first.
Always, yes.
So, tell us about your challenges at that time. And do you think, though you've told the director is a director, but as a woman, the empathy levels in creating a film, getting out that emotion are a little more?
Yeah, I know. Coming to the first one, the first question was how did I transition? I always wanted to be a director. I never wanted to be a choreographer. So that just happened. Sometimes, you know what you say, destiny gets in the way of and takes you somewhere. So I just went with the flow, which was good for me because I learned a lot on the job. I worked with all the best directors, and with every film, as a choreographer, my craft of direction improved. But I always wanted to be a director. And sorry, you're giving me something? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not being fussy. I don't like too much milk in my tea. Other than that, being a woman, so you see so many movies where you think the male director is so good with emotion, whether you see a Karan Johar or a Sanjay Bansali or you see a K3 G, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi. I don't think I could have made it with everyone crying and, you know, I want to make a macho movie with Shah Rukh fighting and showing his six packs. So I don't know whether that holds true. I think it depends on the person you are. A man can sometimes be more emotional than a woman, a certain kind of woman. And a woman can be more macho than some men.
Tell us your experience of your first movie. How did you get everybody together? How did you get your
It took
cast?
very long to make my first movie.
Because you know, people would have not had the confidence. Acha, she's just a choreographer.
No. That they had because
that's
I was
good.
the #1 choreographer and I used to
Choreographing and directing a movie is
But when
very
I used
different.
to do my songs, I used to direct the songs.
Okay.
So they had that, like Shah Rukh had that confidence that she will make a movie because when I used to go on set, the
That
director
speaks a
would
lot
go.
that Shah Rukh actually did your movie, first movie.
Yeah, he took very long to do it, even though I was his best friend and meeting him every day. But not only did he do it, he also put his money where his mouth was. He produced it. You know, so he said that I love it so much that I'm going to like produce it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so but it still took very long to write a script. It's not easy when people just come and say, I want to be a director. I was 10 years a #1 choreographer. It still took me 3 years to put my movie together, you know. But sometimes when you want to do something, it takes time and then,
See, all these are a good learning for our members. For women, you know, everybody, all of them are entrepreneurs, they're homemakers.
I think the longer it takes and the harder your struggle, the better
I
it's
want you
going
to keep
be.
giving them some of your gyan.
I think it's going to be better, you know, if you just get it on a thali, what is the point of it? You know, the struggle is what makes you cherish that even more and makes you appreciate that even more.
Without pointing to the age factor, I gave the disclaimer, don't laugh. Without pointing to the age factor, Bollywood over the years, over the decades has evolved multifold.
Yes.
What is the sensitivity you see today?
Oh, there's, loads of things, yeah. There are, earlier, 30 years ago, there used to be all sorts of humor and jokes on certain communities. Or, you know, if a person was short or a person was dark, it was comedy in the movies. You can't do that anymore. And you shouldn't do that anymore, and that's completely stopped. There are loads of other things. There were vulgar songs with, I won't say double meaning, but single meaning songs. There could be only one meaning. And all sorts of vulgar dance movements, that has completely, it's become slightly more classy, I would say. You know. So, and other things, of course, there are other things, bad things that have happened also. There's a whole manager culture that has started. Earlier, we only had heroine ki mummy to deal with. Now there is a entourage of some 5 managers and all sorts of...
It's really ridiculous.
Really ridiculous.
That way, I think here we have our star coming in, our Tollywood star.
Let's give a
Adivashesh.
big round of applause for Mr. Adivashesh.
Another star who's not come with an entourage. So it's only Bollywood stars who have entourages. Our Tollywood are very grounded and lovely.
Adivashesh, an actor, director, screenwriter who primarily works in Telugu films. Born in Hyderabad, raised in California.
So congratulations on Major. So.
He thinks he's not achieved so much to get a shot.
I know girls, y'all are very excited, but y'all can give me some attention still, huh? All the 50 plus are more excited, huh?
So Farah, life teaches a lot. Adivishesh will also agree to that.
Please join in whenever you feel like.
Life teaches a lot. When you're successful, life looks at you differently. When you're not, life looks at you differently. And every Friday, the fate of Bollywood and Tollywood changes. The opinion of people changes. How do you deal with that?
Like I said, I've been dealing with it since childhood. So I have a different way of looking at it. But I think, guys, if you all are going to take your success so seriously, then you should take your failure also seriously, or my advice is don't take both seriously. You know, both will pass.
So there are two Farahs that I know. One that I've started knowing at a real level and one that I see on social media. And social media portrays images in a manner that nobody thinks and knows of. What you are on social media, you may nowhere be close to reality. What do you have to say about
I think
this?
how many of you all have seen my reels and all on social media with Karan and so I think I'm the same on social media, except I use filters and all sometimes.
Adivishesh, would you like to speak on that?
On the filters?
No, you don't need a filter. I need one for my mouth and my face.
Okay, now I'm going to call him Shesh, and Shesh has no reason to get filters because he's in another generation down.
So what's the question exactly?
So what do you think about the facade that social media has created around everybody, whether it's a celeb like you or a normal person like us?
You know, I think so if I were to speak of the negative, I think, hey, our dear friend
Okay,
Pooja's here. Hi.
my third guest has arrived.
Woohoo! Ladies, let's put a big round of applause for Pooja Hegde, the multi-talented actor, philanthropist.
How are you? Hi. How are you?
These are my two sweeties who arrived just with a phone call away. So sweet. Phone call from Egypt. So I was telling her, I said, she's so simple and nice. It's like a long race car. Suddenly, what do you say?
Whatever's fine.
What about?
Why are we sitting? You need to.
Yeah, like you said.
Come on.
Thank you, Pooja, for being here. Pooja madam, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
So welcome to Flow.
I don't think I should sit between these two good-looking people. I'm going and sitting somewhere there.
We are the filters.
She's too pretty.
She is the star in the middle. See, everybody says yes.
I purposely said that so y'all will say yes. Ask Pooja about social media.
All right. So Pooja, we were just discussing while you entered that today social media is a facade that everybody has built. Whether it's a celeb like you or a normal person like us, what we project on social media is it's nowhere close to where we are at our homes. So what do you have to say about it? And the entire work culture changes with what you project on social media.
Personally speaking, I am what you see on social media is pretty much how I live my life. I try and keep it as authentic and real as possible. But do I post my sad days and my sad moments? No. I feel that there's already so much negativity on social media that being an influencer and having that power, I don't want to put out more negativity or more sadness out there. So I keep it happy, keep it light. But I post a lot with my family and my friends, and that's always the feedback that I've gotten, so I keep it as real as possible.
I think the danger is that when we see somebody else's Instagram, we are always getting FOMO. because everybody all seems to be having such a great time. But like Pooja said, nobody puts the sad moments or the moments of anxiety or that on social media. So we have to remember that not everyone can be looked that happy and rocking and partying all the
Correct,
time.
correct, correct. The best part of life reaches social media. Yeah, true. And let's talk about the business of entertainment, the entrepreneurship angle of entertainment, which has changed completely with OTT taking lead. Suddenly, the business of entrepreneurship has seen multifold changes with OTT coming into play. Most of the actors, including the A-listers, have started doing so much OTT. Where do you see, where are we heading? The movies are not lasting in the theaters even for 2 weeks now.
His movie lasted very long in the theatre, so
Yeah, I guess I've just had the good fortune of two films doing really well in 2022, and in theaters, I firmly believe in the theatrical experience. I remember being a child in Venkateshwara Theatre in Vizag and watching Rajnikant come on screen with Basha, Basha. You know, for me, I think I sum it up to this idea that Taradu Vandaling Parlad. I think I sum it up to this idea that for the big screen you have to look up. For OTT you have to look at your laptop like this. So I think somewhere or the other the big screen is aspirational and sort of the home experience is intimate, which means that you can pause it, stop it, call your friends, cut your your vegetables, go to the bathroom, whatever it may be. So I think at the end of the day, unless we make, for me, I wouldn't recommend
For me too.
for anyone, yeah, unless we aspire and make films that other people can aspire to live, to watch, to enjoy, the movie business doesn't flourish. So I think OTT today needs the theatrical experience in order to survive.
What do you have to say, Farah? Are you coming on OTT anytime
I'm
soon?
not coming. I'm coming on big screen only for now. But he's right, and also I think because of the pandemic and COVID, because we got so used to sitting at home and in the comfort, and we got used to this mindset of watching every movie whenever we wanted, pause it when we want, like he said, go to the loo or talk to somebody, put it on. But the big screen experience
It
is,
takes away the joy with the disruption.
so that taking time to go see that movie, sitting with your friends, screaming,
Also,
shouting.
I don't know if other people experience this, but sometimes you just sit in front of that Netflix screen or that Amazon screen, like there's so many choices, you don't watch anything.
Yeah, spoiled for choice, really.
But there's so much, but you don't know what to watch.
You end up going to YouTube and just checking out puppy videos.
I swear, I do that, I go there and then I go to YouTube.
Okay, I want to ask a question to Shesh to start off. I understand you grew up in California,
I did.
my most favorite place. Last year I spent a lot of time in California. It's amazing. How did you think of coming to India? And how did you think of, I know that you were not happy the way the Tollywood movies are made. So you said, no, I'm going to make my own movie. I'm going to write my own movie. Is that true?
Not exactly. I wasn't getting any opportunity. so
I love his honesty.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, if they're not going to give me the story, I'll write myself the story. And I said, if they're not going to give me the story, I'll write myself the story. I think that's what it was. I didn't really aspire to change anyone else's minds. My goal was to just find my own place. Growing up in San Francisco, whenever I'd go to audition in LA, at least when I was there, we didn't have, young talent like Maitri Ramakrishnan or whoever's come on Netflix these days. So I'd only get opportunities to audition for terrorist number 4, gas station attendant number 2, Silicon Valley computer programmer number 3, So, and even today, I don't think you see a brown Tom Cruise sitting in LA. So my biggest reason for coming back was the idea that I could find my, Chiranjeevi Garus, my Shah Rukh Khans, everybody here. So I felt the people I would look up to and me joining those ranks someday, hopefully 50 years from now, would be here. So, and that's why I moved back.
How are you feeling? Like, were you scared when you started off your first movie and writing your first script?
I'm feeling all right. I mean, people I look up to, I'm sitting beside them giving my opinion. So I feel I'm
You've
happy.
done very well for yourself, I must say.
His movies are amazing. I really love his movies.
Okay, I didn't prep anyone to say
And he's cute also. And it helps that he's cute. All the
I
ladies.
think he's number one, overwhelmed to see so many women, and he's
that I'm never.
You're not.
Yeah, but the
I just
women
told him
are
to come for
overwhelmed.
my event, and he doesn't know what he came for.
Yeah, I came to Pinky and I was asking actually, when they said no entourage, I was like, I'm flanked by a bunch of people from the event. I was like, can you tell me what's happening? As I was walking.
Now, coming to filmmaking, there are these beautiful stories and very well cinematographed, but they do not see commercial success. And that happens typically for any on-table business also. The product is good, the marketing is good, still the business doesn't do well. So creative and commercial aspects of a business are very tough to match. And Farah Khan is a genius at that. The creative and the commercial, they come, they combine, and it's a super hit.
So,
She has no words.
The pause was everything.
no, I'm just saying because I like to watch very entertaining movies. It's not like I'm selling my soul to make a mass entertainment movie. I am the mass and I enjoy going in a theater and whistling when the heroes and the girl is, with songs and dances, and so that's what I love doing. So I make that. I think everyone makes what they love, what they like. If you don't make, you have to make what you like, because if you don't make what you like, they are not going to like it and you're not going to like it also. So, when you make those small, like you said, those creative niche movies, at least the director likes them. May not be for everybody, So I basically normally think that will everybody get it? Not only the elite or the very educated people, but just everyone. The emotion should be felt by everybody. I think that's what I like. I also like to watch the smaller movies, but now I watch them on OTT. That's the difference. I will not go to the theater to watch them. And that's what OTT is done. In a way, it's good because those smaller films get a platform. And they do very well on OTT. They get great reviews and people love them and critics fall over themselves. And if they're released in the theater, probably would not have done well.
So Pooja, I have to ask you, she has created an incredible, her dance move, which has become the world famous. Anywhere you go, it's like super popular. What is that song?
She's talking about the Arabic kuttu, Halumitiya
Arabic
Bibo
kuttu.
and Butta Bumma and stuff, yeah.
So you actually started, your first movie was Telugu?
My first movie was actually Tamil.
Huh?
Tamil, yeah.
Tamil. Okay, but then how do you compare your commercial movies to a meaningful movie? Have you done any?
I take objection to that. Commercial movies are very meaningful. They provide a lot of joy and happiness to everybody and lot of money to the producers and distributors.
Of course.
Okay, very arty movie. So commercial is not arty.
Not arty. Arty is
Sorry, arty movie. I changed my word.
Yeah, so what is it though?
I thought you did one arty movie, right? Did you?
Did I? No, I haven't done. What's an arty movie?
Okay,
It's like-
meaningful.
She's
Look at me if I say meaningful movie.
She's talking about Houseful 4.
See, I think it's a blend of both. Without any emotion, you can watch an entire action film, but if there's no emotion in it, then you don't connect with why they're fighting.
So do you prefer Telugu or Tamil movies?
What a question to ask her.
Every question I'm asking, she's
both.
editing me. here.
Thank you for being there to just be like,
Whichever pays her more.
both.
She likes that.
All right, so I would request some of my team members to ensure that the noise behind is cancelled, otherwise Farah will go there.
Otherwise, I'll have to go there.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, which was about some good films, you see them, but they don't do well. I truly believe that, it's not correlated. Like, the box office of a film doesn't tell you whether the film was good or it was bad, you know. There are some films which, when I look back, because now I've started watching a lot of old films, and then when I actually go into the history of the film, I'm like, the film didn't do well, and I'm shocked that the film didn't do well. But maybe it was ahead of its time, or whatever the
There are
reason.
vice versa, some terrible films that do very well.
Do very well.
Very well.
So every film comes with its own destiny, and you know, it kind of does well. So it's not related, the two of them, you know.
True, agreed. Can I
Have
ask
I
a
avoided your
sensitive...
I noticed she avoided my question, and that was I have like one.
I can answer your
Thank
question.
you.
Okay. Shesh will answer my question. Your question.
As a primarily Telugu actor sitting in Hyderabad, I'm happy to welcome Farah Garu to the place where the biggest movies in India are made.
Of course, yes. And I want to tell you, Shesh, that when I started my career, before I became big in Hindi, Nagarjuna gave me a break in Telugu movies.
Oh, how lovely.
And I worked a lot in the South, Telugu, Tamil, so I guess my discipline and my training comes from here.
The mass also.
The mass also, of course. I mean, we love your... I don't think we should... They are Indian movies. They are coming from India and they are fab.
No,
And they're going to the
earlier,
Oscars.
I must tell you, when I was like 17 years ago, when my husband we moved to Bombay for work, and anywhere I would go, they say, Acha, you're from the South, Tamil? I like, no, I'm from Hyderabad and Telugu. I used to get damn offended. Xerxes one day almost beat him up. I said, how dare you call me Tamil? I'm
But
Telugu.
at least we were saying Telugu when we were doing movies, everyone was Madrasi. Everyone was Madrasi movies.
And now, wherever I go, wow, your Telugu movies, your Tollywood is rocking. I'm like, what do you think? Finally, you'll value where we come from. Seriously, and now, sorry to say, some of the dramatic Bollywood, they're like, it's not Bollywood, it's not Tollywood, it's all India. Now I've become all India.
just
Earlier, they
said
never
that.
said all India.
We always like to take credit from wherever it's coming. So
I can say.
Also, on a serious note to what you said, I think film is one of those art forms and also just businesses where it's the only thing where each film is a prototype. Usually, and I think this is why corporate structures don't lend themselves to films very well. Because what is corporate structure? You set up a prototype, it works really well, you streamline it, and then it's an assembly. But if I were to repeat the same thing that worked in my previous film, in this film, you know. So the idea is every film is a prototype, and that is why it is it's so tough to judge what would be. See, sometimes you think you're making a commercial film, and people call it artsy. I remember, Gudachari, which did very well here. I was in a meeting in Mumbai, and the head of the studio says, we really like that artistic spy stuff that you did. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you never know how it gets judged because ultimately you're still making that first prototype. You don't know what's going to happen.
That's why I said the first is always very special, whether it's a hit or not. So a very sensitive question without any cameraman recording it.
are you asking me my age again?
Oh, you're the youngest.
5 times she has alluded.
You are the
Oh my
youngest
God.
of all of us. You're the youngest here. But I wanted to understand, we have people sitting from different genres of the entertainment industry. Give us your take on nepotism. Doodles.
Since Pooja is the most non-nepotistic here, we'll talk.
And thank you, the end.
There are 2 ways of looking at it. I mean, all of y'all have family businesses. That's nepotism.
So
Why should a person not want to get into the family business? Yeah, why should they not? But I understand the other side of it. I understand if Pooja is more qualified to do a role, but it goes to somebody else because of the family they come from, even though they are not as qualified. So that's called, how do you pronounce it? Meritocracy. on your merit. People are not getting work solely on their merit because somebody else's family background or you know more people, and it's a debate
It has to coexist, basically.
it's a debate. But there are many people who come so-called Nepo babies who are extremely talented actors and actresses, and should you tell them don't act because your father was a star?
See, I'll tell you, the nepotism also is overrated, huh? Because so many people have come in as like some star kids. Not at all.
Both of us are not the known
Actually, nepotism is you.
But I can't see. I'm not. How?
Your family is from movies.
1 minute. My father died with 30 rupees in his pocket. And then it took me some 20 years to become a choreographer after he died.
That's true. But
So
I'm saying,
it's a bad
there's so
side
many,
of...
no, there have been so many superstars who had their kids came in the movies easily, but they disappeared also easily. You know, it's sad. There used to be one star when I was a teenager, obsessed about him. I don't mention Pablo, I still like him.
Everyone knows, we all know his love
all
story,
grew up.
we all saw love.
That movie came and it disappeared. Poor chap, he also disappeared. And how many, I mean, look at Shah Rukh and look at so many people who just from nowhere, look what they've made. Look what is and all of you, to that matter.
But there are many who have come and who have done rather well.
Very, very
That's
well.
when Sanjay Dutt came with Kumar Gaurav. He's still rocking till today.
But they're very few. What I'm saying is not everybody is doing well. The fathers are
Rishi
superstars.
Kapoor, Ranbir Kapoor, there's a whole list.
Huh.
I think if you're talented and you work hard, you're going to last. And if you're not, however many movies your dad makes for you, it's not going to happen.
Very true. And my next question was in consonance with what you just said, that let's talk about the technique of filmmaking. Let's talk about the expertise. So there are two schools of thought, wherein one is where a person who wants to entertainment industry, whether it is direction, production, choreography, acting, you're supposed to get skilled. You're supposed to learn it, enroll somewhere, take the technique and then come and try your luck here. The other way is you just wake up and say, I am leaving everything. I'm leaving my academics in class 12 and I'm just going to Tinseltown. What's your take on that? Because a lot of parents sitting here must be facing this at home where children want to go that way, and the technique, the expertise, the qualification should be there, or it's just pure talent that can also take you places.
From someone, since he went to... So somebody who actually went to filmmaking school to somebody who learned it on the job, because I had no money to even go to
Learned it
FTI.
on the job.
Didn't have money to go to FTI. I think both things can work. Sometimes if my son wanted to be a director, I would definitely say, please go learn the skill, watch some movies, get some education on it. But we didn't have it, and we also, you can learn from watching movies. If it's your passion and you have the talent, there are a lot of people who go to film school and don't end up, whereas somebody who just learns it on a film set. There's merit in both. You'll save money if you don't send your child to that film school.
I don't know which one's better because both have their plus and minuses. I mean, I was someone who learnt on the job, right? Because I was offered a film and I was in major doubt if, like, I was someone who grew up not knowing what I wanted to be in life. I was a very lost child. And this offer came to me, and I was so unsure of myself because I've always been an introvert and I've always been shy. And my mom said, you know, just try it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? That you won't like it, right? It's okay. And I went on set and I actually loved it was the closest thing to magic for me. Like, when I watched a film for the first time, I was like, oh, so all those shots culminated to becoming this film. I was like, this is magic. So, it was so beautiful for me to watch. So I was like, okay, now I want to do this. But can I afford to go to, New York Film, school or take a class? No, because I was on set and learning something. There's nothing like learning on the job. You're watching, you're learning, you're a sponge on set. But do I miss the technical aspects? I had to also learn technical aspects. I remember my director telling me, okay, Pooja, now 48 frames. I was like, 48 frames? That doesn't mean
That's slow motion for you.
Yeah, so do I need to act differently? It's something that I learned, it was a slow process. So maybe my graph of as an actor looks little more different. Maybe it's slower than most people, but I've grown with every film that I've done. So I know that I didn't want my parents to pay for my, dance class or my whatever. So whatever that I made, I invested back into learning. So I did it simultaneously. So I don't know which one's, better. But like she said, if I could afford it, I would pay for my kids to learn the technical aspects.
I have 3 kids, so I'm happy if they don't learn. I'll be broke by the time they finish.
I feel like my answer to both the questions is actually the same. See, art is very much like, beauty always lies in the eye of the beholder, right? Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. You're standing, you're just looking at a painting. You say, "Wow, this painting speaks to me." The person beside you says, "Yeah, it's just a banana on a." So I think art is so subjective. When you spoke of nepotism or when you speak about film school, I think my answer felt the same. It's ultimately, as an artist, are you able to convince, starting with your producer, your director, then later the audience, are you able to convince them of feeling what you want them to feel, what you're trying to express? Unlike an academic thing, there's no degree that qualifies you. See, I once met this director who was an IIT and IIM graduate, but he told me one of the worst scripts I'd ever heard. So, and so many of India's great directors are people who didn't even pass 10th grade, and they're from villages in India. So art is just one of those very subjective things that the qualification that you truly need in order to connect to an audience is that you can make them feel.
Yeah, he's right. So you can go to the to school and learn the technique, but the heart of the movie has to come from you. That no school can teach you that.
See, I think when Pooja speaks of she was on set and she learned on the job. I think she started a little before I did, or around the same time. I'm not quite sure, but when I saw her for the first time on screen, she made me feel something as an audience, as a character.
What did you feel, Tish?
I remember, I think it was Okalela Kosam that I saw you in.
In Telugu.
Yeah, in Telugu I saw in Okalela Kosam, it was Chair's film, and I was like, it is, but ultimately she's able, if you're able to make your audience feel whatever the director intended, whatever you as an actor intended, that's what makes people go, yes, this person's worth it. Suddenly you cross the nepotism line, suddenly you cross the qualification line, you cross the experience line. Doesn't matter that this person did 100 films and this is your first film, you just got to make them feel in that moment. That's all it is.
But I think there's this saying about luck that, when opportunity means preparation, that's called luck. So you have to prepare so that when the opportunity comes, you just grab it. But
I said
imagine
that
if I had
before
it-
you came. You came
Oh.
late.
I was given a time. I came at that time.
So I'm sorry, I didn't even learn dance. I used to watch Michael Jackson and practice. But it's how badly you want to do it. Sometimes it's good enough to watch movies and learn from there. So I used to watch movie songs, Vijay Anand movies, Nasir Hussain songs, and learn the technique from there. I watched Sholay 100 times to figure out how they took a shot. So if you're lucky enough that your parents can send you to I'm definitely not.
And that's with any business. Like my brother's a doctor, but there are so many doctors out there. But who becomes that 2% of the top doctors? It's a very, very, very small margin. It's that 10, 7, 4, 2. There's only
Like
two
they
that
say, my son always comes and tells me, all the billionaires in the world have not gone to college. They all college dropouts. I said, but you will be going to college, don't expect.
So before we take questions from the audience, each one of you tell us your ikigai moment, that one moment which has left you inspired, which you carry. Each one of us has that one ikigai moment, that just soaks in you. No, you can tell us 2, 3, 4. We are here for you.
She'll have 20.
I have many in a day.
I like what was said about, opportunity meets preparation. What was that? Talent meets, I think it was my first hit. It was a film called Kshanam. It was remade as Bagi 2 in Hindi. It was Kshanam. We'd done it on such a tiny budget. Sometimes we didn't have a budget for a trolley in the film. That's how tiny the budget was. And all of a sudden, I had like 18 actors from Hindi, bunch of actors from Telugu and Tamil calling me, and then, I remember Rana called me and he's like, dude, where you at? I said, I'm here. And he said, can you come to this restaurant? So I go there, and then there's like 6 Telugu actors and 3 Telugu actresses sitting there. They're like, we'd all like to tweet about this film. We'd all like to sort of come to a press conference about this film and speak about it. That's exactly how Kshanam took off. It was just day 2.
But it's true, sometimes if you don't have too much money, it's right, because you're forced to be creative and...
I'd like to believe that we're creative, whether we have...
No, sometimes the money, I'm telling you, I met this director who told me, I want you to do this song, and my last song, and which was a very rubbish song, I spent 10 crores on that song, and I said, but on Sheila Ki Javani, I spent 10 lakhs. Literally, you just have to be, it's not about the money spent or how it's what you create with it.
And what a song it was. I remember talking about opportunity meets preparation. I was auditioning for Mohenjo-daro, and I remember Ashu sir gave me 5 scenes and he said, okay, do these scenes. And then I did those scenes and then he said, okay, can you dance? I said, yeah, sir. So he said, okay, dance. What can you dance on? And I just learned Sheila Ki Javani for some sangeet or some dance. So I said, so I can dance on Sheila Ki Javani. So he said, okay, play the song. And I've done some dance.
And she got the movie.
And I got the movie.
How do you get these ideas of how do you, these moves?
See, it's very difficult to say how you get an idea. Everyone asks what is the creative, but I think the music speaks to you.
Yeah, I guess.
The music tells you what to do.
That's true.
Tell us about your Ikigai moments.
So I think that's kind of what I was trying to hint at. Like, it was this moment where we'd worked so hard for 2 years, but all of a sudden, actors, directors, producers across different industries in India, and Kshanam's been remade in 5 languages. They all came together to promote this film in a week, and I hadn't asked for any of it, and even if I did, they wouldn't have. So I think that was the kind of luck we were blessed with because we worked really hard and because the preparation was there. So I think that's what I meant. I related to that, sort of...
Well, there are so many moments of inspiration that you find. I think my first one was when I was an assistant director on Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, and I was telling you all Sarojji was the choreographer, and I remember I was giving a clap and I was standing under a tree and I was watching and they were doing some very filmy step, and in that moment I was like, you know what, I can do this and I can do it better. It was like my Buddha moment of enlightenment that what is that, I can do this. So I think lot of moments through every time when you're writing a script or you're making a movie or whatever, even in life, sometimes you're like, okay, this is all I need to be happy. I don't need to chase anything more. There are different moments for different people. I think you have to find it, what makes you happy from within. Sometimes I just want to play with my dog and be at home. Yeah, I think that really...
Conversation, kids are not getting any mention, and I'm sending them the YouTube link.
My dog is right now being nicer to me than my kids. But I've only become the Swiggy, Zomato person to order their stuff.
So let's ask.
I mean, like I said, when I watched my first film, I always remember that moment because I was like awestruck. I'm like, wow, this is just like magical. But I think recently Reese Witherspoon really inspired me because she was talking about how why she opened her production house and why she started making more films about women, because she said that the roles that were getting offered to her was not something she wanted to do, and that just came out of that pure reason that she just wanted to make something for herself and have these stories told. and she just went for it and just started making films. Yeah, but it's so inspiring, stuff like that when you hear it, that, actually, I think you're just so scared of failing all the time that you end up not doing a lot of things. But when you just like stop getting scared and you realize that it's okay to fail, that's like the biggest, that penny drop moment where you're like, to kya ho gaya? Fail hua to hua, we'll do something else, So that thing of being fearless is something that, I've tried to imbibe slowly.
So would you have a parting message for Flow Hyderabad members, all these gorgeous ladies sitting here?
Just go watch all our movies whenever they come next.
And please watch them in theaters.
In the theatre, pay money and watch it.
For sure.
Let's do the Q&A, I think.
Yes, we open the floor for members to ask. Raise your hand, the mic reaches you. Yes. Yeah, so Flow Hyderabad does an annual exhibition called Style Tattva. No. What are you doing? It's at our own exhibition, Style Tattva, that we sell kurtas like this. Yeah. So we're going to invite you next year. We have the vice chair sitting right in front.
Please raise
you
your
have
hand.
the chief guest noted.
Please raise your hand and stand. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Leher and this is for Farah ma'am. I have a young daughter, she's 16 years old, and I asked her initially what profession you want, doctor, engineering, and she just ruled out. And now she's like, I want to take up direction, I want to do movies. So what take can I take from you, go back home with her?
I think she wants to direct movies.
Yes.
I think it's fantastic. Do you have any... Can you send her to learn somewhere?
Of course. And she wants to go to Bombay. She doesn't want to go abroad.
Nagarjuna's academy. There is a academy.
Okay.
I think if her passion lies in
Yes.
that, you must encourage it. Send her, there's Annapurna, I think, in Hyderabad, if you don't want to send her anywhere else.
Yeah, sure.
Which may be, I don't know what kind of films she wants to make.
She's not decided on that.
Because my kids no, my kids don't watch Hindi movies, if you please.
Thank you. And she's a great Shah Rukh Khan fan.
So then you must send her to
Mannat.
send her to Mannat is closer. Then once she's done with her couple of years, she can come and assist me.
Sure.
Sure.
Thank you.
Will.
Yeah, Manjula.
That's a very lovely
That's
offer.
the closest,
Yeah.
shortcut to Shah Rukh.
After 1 year, she's coming to you. She's in grade 11 now. After 1 year, she's coming to you.
I just wanted to know all three opinions on, is there a formula for success of a film?
That's it.
Sorry, if I knew if there is a formula for success of a film, I wouldn't have made Tismar Khan.
But it gave me Sheila ki Jawani, so thank you.
See, that someone benefited from it.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. I actually made that movie so that she would get in the movie.
Thank you, Farah, for being with Flow today, and thank you.
Your mic is off, I think.
Yeah, no.
They're all wearing very nice clothes. Huh? I want to know where they're getting.
Welcome to Hyderabad.
Curious, no informative, no. It has really been nice. Part of society. I think I'm done.
A very important part of society and movement really pushing for transgender and equality. How does the film world want to look at that aspect in trying to portray it in films or through messages, and how?
I think the lot of leaps and bounds have been made. If you see earlier movies, I mean, the transgender was, like I was saying earlier, 30 years ago, what is the difference? Those were used as tropes for comedy, something to laugh at or to make fun of. I think there are a lot of movies which are very sensitive, which are being made on this. They may not be mass commercial movies, that still has a long way to go. But I think a lot of filmmakers are making, you see on OTT platforms, and still long way to go.
Your opinion on it as a film director, do you think you would like to really focus on what today the movement is talking about, their acceptance in society, and the demands that they make? I'm not going to use the word demands, but and respect their sentiments.
See, you know the kind of movies I make. Yeah, so I don't really make the very sensitive movies. I make big event movies. But if there's a character that needs to be there, of course, why not? I think they should be part of mainstream society now, and you should have to start thinking about them as characters in a mainstream film. I think still a long way to go, like I said, but there have been improvements, definitely.
Well, I think there is a lot of resound happening because of the acoustics, so would request everybody to be a little quieter at the background, please.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sabah Khan. I have a question for Farah ma'am.
All questions for me. I'm not going to tell you all my age.
No, I'm actually.
Pooja and we were in college together.
Yeah, I know. Actually, that's what I was going to say, that you're so young, right? So don't you think even you should give us even we are young, a role against...
I want to tell you, you're far younger than me. I'm not young. I'm very old.
No, I don't think so. But I think all of us should, get a chance in your movie as a debut for Shah Rukh Khan.
Just give the mic to somebody else, please.
That means we are not eligible, right? You only need young Pooja.
Not young, but not young. His heroines are not always young.
No, but you should. I mean, we should get a debut, right?
That they want a debut now. There's a bit much now, no?
She wouldn't do another flow chapter.
Yeah.
You expect her to start giving roles to everybody who come to listen.
That do not roll directly opposite Shah Rukh Khan.
To quote
She does not here and there roll.
To quote Farah, हम film easy नहीं है.
बना देंगे.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So my question is for Farah Khan. I'm here. So my question is on the similar lines.
You also want a role opposite Shah Rukh Khan?
If you think so, I don't mind. I'm that age also, that bracket where I can match up. Not in talent, but just the age. So my question to you: any new talent who wants to enter Bollywood, so who don't have a godfather, so if they want to come to Bombay, so which is the first step according to you, so that they can proceed?
See, whenever anyone asks me that we want to be an actor and we want to come to Bollywood, what advice would you give? The first advice is don't. My first advice is don't. Because there are too many, unless you are that passionate about it that you feel if I don't do this, I will die. That is the only time you should come, because the struggle is real and the struggle is very hard.
Right.
And you really need, what do I say?
Patience.
Mentally strong.
You have to have another kind of patience, thick-skinned, not have a fear of rejection, and you really need to be that talented that there are lakhs of people outside casting directors' houses, offices, lakhs. So unless you're so passionate about it and you feel your talent is so good that if you don't act, you will die, that is the only time you
So not for actor or actresses, any other role, is it?
It's as tough.
Yeah.
Now anyway, nobody takes you in a lead role right in the beginning unless, you look like Pooja or, because luckily now everyone starts with doing smaller roles and goes up. At least that part has become good, I would say. Because earlier everyone said hero hi hoega. But now you see whether it's a Nawazuddin or a Rajkumar or whatever, they start with smaller roles and they, as an actor, and then they graduate. Do you have any advice to give actors who want to come there?
Please listen to Farah Gaurav.
Yeah.
हेलो मुझे एक डांस स्टेप्स आपके साथ करना है फराह जी.
अभी पूजा ने जो स्टेप शीला की जवानी में किया था वो दिखाएगी पूजा.
Anything,
We'll
anything.
do at the end of the session.
Okay,
You
done,
have-
done. Yeah, thank you.
No, we'll have a question here. Yeah, this side.
Is there any, Hi, so my sister and I are both set designers and we occasionally do the camera feed.
Sorry, you're set designers in your
Yeah.
Telugu movies.
So my sister just moved from California. I moved back 3 years ago. So
How's it going?
COVID happened, so it's really not how we planned it would be. But what's the advice to all of you? The best way to network. One advice.
She's
for
a set
networking.
designer. I think you need to network with the production designer more than anyone else, and you'll have to be ready to start from the bottom, because a lot of people come and nobody will take you on, because everybody has their set of people and assistants that they've been mentoring, and so you need to know that you have to give it a year or two of starting back from square one. If you're willing to do that and build a body, I mean, do everything, do events, do ad films, whatever you get, do weddings, because you need to keep working.
Kept me going during
Yeah,
COVID.
and you need to earn money also, it's important. So keep going, but I think if you tell a production designer, sir, I really want to work with you and I'm ready to start at the bottom for less money, I think that always works.
I think like also the strongest survive in our industry, and you should never think that something is like beneath you doing when you're on, like actually on set and
Let
location.
me tell you, any good director or production designer we speak for all of us, even if the fifth spot boy is hardworking, we will notice it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know who's working hard and who's pretending to work. So that I think any person who's good at their job knows that. So all the best when you come to
Yeah.
Bombay, let me know.
Yeah, especially in Bombay, I remember there was this set designer who was an assistant, but he would pick up trash from the location if like, "Arey, main karta hu," and that was the enthusiasm was what was like, oh, you stand out amongst everybody because you really want to make it happen, So that people will see in you.
I think it also helps to sort of reach out to people with similar life experiences. Devakatta has returned from the US. Praveen Sapparu, somebody who makes films in Telugu, who's from the US. I don't make films, but I write films. Seshikiran Tikka, the director of Major, studied film in New York. So you reach out to them, you say, this is the kind of stuff I've done. There's also production designers, people like Avinash Kolla, who does half of Telugu films. You reach out to them and you speak about what you do.
Are you making another film in Telugu?
Yeah, like four of them.
Help her, no?
Absolutely, we'll talk after. But that's the idea. Like the idea is to go actually be fearless and sort of reach out to people that you believe in, people who inspire you with their art, and then just say, this is what you want to do. Not that you're going to get your leg in the door each time, but that's where you begin.
Yes.
Farah, this is for you. I'm a lifelong film lover. I've seen so many films every year. And Om Shanti Om is my absolute all-time favorite. Not even Sholay. So I just wanted to know, to make such a film that draws so much on Bollywood itself, right? There are lots of references to itself. I got cut off. Okay. Thought process, how was it more to
No, actually, I want to tell you, Om Shanti Om, I wrote in 2 weeks. That is the easiest script I've ever written, because that is my world, no? See, you have to make what you love and what you know. That's something I've lived in that world since childhood. And I know the idiosyncrasies. I'm dying to make a part 2, because since then to now, so many things have changed. Actors have become even more cracked, and the kind of demands people make and the kind of idiosyncrasies. You'll be there in it? Okay. So no, that was for me, that was my most personal film. Things we've been hearing since childhood, and we've seen, there's one line which my dad used to say, that it's a throwaway line, ke producer to kutta hota hai. It's true, because at the end of the person who's putting in the money is being treated like a dog on film sets. So that for me was the easiest script to make.
But how do you come up with like iconic lines and all that? Like, I can't see a Jhumar and not go, yes, Jhumar ke niche milegi shant. Like, how do you
See that because it was based in the 70s, it was so easy to also do dramatic. Like Mehuna doesn't have those kind of, because it was a breezy young film. Teenagers don't talk like that. But this movie was all the movies I watched and grew up in.
It was such a combination of making fun of the industry and actually paying an ode to the industry. You know, the Kumati references, all of it. So just, you know, thank you for it and please make a part
Thank you so much. Okay.
We'll take the last question there, please.
Hello, I'm Dr. Navina, and my question is, Shuji, I just wanted to know, you are an director, and you all write stories. You're all very big fan of your movies. I think we watched all your movies, and my son especially is a fan of yours. Yeah. So what is that idea behind, you know, how do you get these kind of ideas to write the stories, and these movies keep us gripping, you know, as what happens next? We continuously watch that kind of, you know, suspense and interest. So what gives you these ideas to write the movies?
I don't know it's a single thing ever, you know, we all find inspiration in different things. I know that when the 26/11 attacks happened, seeing Major Sandeep's face made me a major fan of him, and I always wanted to tell his story. And now so many years later, I got the good luck to be able to tell his story. So I just think it's about being honest to what inspires you, and to not forget what inspired you while you're in the course of writing that film, acting in that film, and making that film. Because when you're doing it over a course of a year, you get into different ego tussles, so many other problems with different people trying to materialize the film, that you actually end up sort of feeling cowed down. The idea is to remember what inspired you in the first place and to keep going. And then you arrive at a film that sort of touches people's hearts, I guess.
We'll request Chairperson to felicitate the world promoter, Mr. Siddharth. Hey. Would request the team to be ready with the autograph sheets, please. Request the team to please join us for taking autographs. Start moving up. उधर से जाओ, पीछे से जाओ. We'll give everybody a photo op, but do not crowd here, please. Wait. Can I request everybody to get off the dais? We are giving a photo opportunity to everybody. In groups of 10, we'll give a photo op to everybody. Please line up near the dais. Request all. Okay. Well, request the past chairs to please come up on the dais quickly for the photo. Request Senior Vice Chair will now deliver the vote of thanks.
A very happy evening to one and all. The film industry has influenced Indian society and culture as the biggest entertainment industry. And thus, it's a journey of 1,000 miles which begins with one step. On this note, I, Ritusha, on behalf of Wikiflow Hyderabad, take this opportunity to thank our phenomenal speaker, Ms. Farah Khan, for gracing Hyderabad chapter with her presence today. Thank you, Ms. Farah Khan. A big thank you to our past president, Ms. Pinky Reddy, for adding her Midas touch to the session. Thank you, Pooja Hegde, and thank you, Adi Vishesh, for your presence. Thank you, we thoroughly enjoyed this session. And the take back today for me is opportunity needs preparation. Thank you, The World, our venue partner. Thank you, RBC, our creative partner. Gratitude to all our past chairpersons for the support in all the endeavors. Thank you, press and media. Thank you, members and floor committees. The secret to having is all believing you already do. Thank you and Jai Hind.